The finals just got a brand new dev live stream. We also got some new hidden mechanics and tricks with the new equipment. We got some stuff happening over on Twitch as well as some Twitch drops. A minor stealth change that happened from 1.10 to 2.0. Some thoughts on the new weapons as well as some new tips and tricks on the new challenge circuit. And a whole bunch more. What's up world, it's Utopia back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things the finals. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. There is currently a dev community live stream happening right now. And this is obviously for the Season 2 promo. Currently Embark Oscar is the one who hosts these. He was playing 5v5 Power Shift, although I do know later on he will play some private matches. And it seems like he'll be queuing up some of those with actual chatters. So if by the time this video goes out and the live stream is still up, you can jump in there and try to get into those private matches if you want. The finals channel has also dropped multiple trailers. They dropped a new one today for the Cis Horizon map, where we got a ton of nice brand new imagery. Also, alongside that dev community stream, we did have a Twitch drop. However, this did seem to launch yesterday, or at least the time was set to yesterday. So I might have missed that with yesterday's video. However, there's still plenty of time to get this drop as it does go to March 28th. Now, this Twitch drop is a Twitch charm, which is for your weapon. It's got the little Twitch logo, so I would say this mostly pertains to other Twitch streamers, especially people trying to promote their brand or promote themselves. Still cool overall to get a little free cosmetic there, so there is that. And you only have to watch a stream for 2 hours, so it's not very long to obtain this reward. Again, make sure you connect everything when you do, so that way you can have the reward actually linked into your game. Recently, there was some really cool mechanics that were discovered with the dematerializer and an APS. This also might apply to other things like the turret, but we'll have to wait and see on that. So over on Reddit, Real Fallen Wolf actually did put this together, or put these mechanics together. However, I did end up using my own footage here, as it's very easy to set up. You just use a dematerializer, remove the wall, and then you can place the APS inside the actual wall once you reapply the wall with the dematerializer. So again, once that wall is then replaced, you will see the APS is actually inside of the wall there. We'll have to figure out if this does get nerfed, as a few people say this is definitely going to get patched out once Embark sees this. Again, this is a super strong hidden mechanic, especially putting something inside of a wall. Wasn't able to test with the turret, although I assume that it probably doesn't work with that. But you can go ahead and try it if you have another medium on your team and see if you can place both of those items inside that wall. Again, I think this is more than likely going to get patched out, however for now the mechanic is in the game. This does seem like if anything it's going to be incredibly meta breaking once this is more utilized. However, we'll have to see how Embark feels about this mechanic and if they end up patching it out. And of course, if they do, I will let you guys know. Also, a cool note with the data reshaper. At first, I thought this was mostly RNG, as I didn't have a ton of time to test a ton of different things, and at least I wanted to play my games when I did do that private event. However, we do have some word testing here, and this was done by Bemasker over on Reddit. Again, super easy to set up, so I did use my own footage here, essentially that you can just use the data reshaper to change objects. However, that's not the significance of it here, is that they actually do happen in sequence, or they are based on a sequence. So it seems like they're not RNG, and I even waited some time in between then, and yes, it does seem like it's based entirely on a sequence. So depending on when you change an object and when you change the next one, it will always follow that sequence. Which again, this really only pertains to the actual canisters. So whether or not you want an aggressive or defensive one there, that will kind of be based on the sequence. Of course, if you're just changing a defensive or even an aggressive object into a regular object, which would be like a turret or an APS into something else, technically it's not going to matter as much with that there. Again, some really cool hidden mechanics there discovered with both of those. We'll have to wait and see if there's any more with any of the other new items. I know for me, I'm still playing around with the gateway, and maybe I'll have an additional video on that. However, jumping over into the new weapons, we have a lot of discussion and discourse around these. Now, first up, because this pertains to me, we do have a thread here that got highly upvoted the thoughts on the 9.3R. A lot of people are saying it's very inconsistent and felt really good for the first few games, then kind of felt off after that. That's kind of how it was for me, especially in that private event. I really enjoyed the new pistol. I liked it a lot, but it does seem like you really have to get those headshot modifiers out in order for it to feel consistent. And talking with other creators as well, at least during the event, they also thought the same thing, that you really do have to get those headshots in, where when you do, the TTK feels really good and strong, and probably even better than the current pistol, which is the V9S. I've been switching back and forth trying to make this thing work. I am curious on your guys' thoughts with it, but we also do have some discourse and discussion around all the new weapons. Again, I haven't had a ton of time aside from the private event testing the FAMAS and the KS-23, so I wasn't really big on the KS-23, and I think that's a sentiment with a lot of people. And the FAMAS seems to have some controversy around it. Again, we have another thread here. Is it just me, or all the new weapons terrible? As other commenters said, I think it's good that they didn't bring in all OP new weapons and kind of completely destroy the meta. It does feel like they came in a little underpowered. However, the FAMAS doesn't really have a ton of recoil with it. We'll see if they tweak and buff them there to try to get them on the level same as the F-Car, which I do feel like was also destroying during the private event compared to the FAMAS. In fact, one of the devs I played with dropped 20 in one game. and he was using the FCAR and not the FAMAS. Again, we'll have to wait and see if they do want to tweak that there and get those weapons more online with other ones, or if they want to even make them more overpowered. However, I love that they added some new weapons to the game, and they did it for every single class. I think for most, people were just expecting one new weapon, so the fact that they did one each for every class kind of goes to show that they are pumping out content very, very fast. Also shows the dedication they have toward this game and its future. Now, we do have somewhat of a stealth change, but nothing too crazy from 1 to 10. Essentially, during the end of the match cutscene, you were able to move your character around. Created some cool, funny moments, but they did actually remove this, so you're not able to move your character around during that screen. Although, as a commenter here pointed out, they intentionally patched it, but not specifically for that, or at least seemingly so, because they just cleared the area of everything. After some time, people discovered where the camera area was for all the new maps, or all the maps in general, and they were messing with that area and kind of just doing different things, and so they weren't actually playing the game, they were just messing with the camera area, which I could definitely see why they'd want to patch that out. So hopefully maybe they do bring back the like little custom animations or custom things you can do during the cutscene. Although again, this isn't like that big of a major issue, and just kind of one of the changes that happened during 1.10 to 2.0, so I figured I'd cover it since it's something that they didn't list in the patch notes specifically. Now, the challenge circuit does have a really kind of hard quote-unquote challenge in it right now, which is the deal 5,000 damage to opponents with grenades. This seems to be somewhat difficult in the regular modes. However, the new 5v5 power shift mode does actually make this fairly easy, and as someone said here, they got it done yesterday. They ran medium on the new mode and lobbed all sorts of nades onto the platform. Seems to be the way to go if you do want to get this challenge done, and the new mode's pretty fun anyways, which is already nade and RPG central on that new mode, so you might as well get it done with that in this mode. And as someone pointed out here, you have the whole season to get these done. However, it's understandable that people want to just push through the circuit and get those done and progress as fast as possible. So hopefully that little tip there does help with that one there. Some last minute mentionables here. I know I've covered the soundtrack and a few of the new sounds for the new season. However, Embark did officially launch these on some official channels. So the brand new music for Season 2 and CNS files have actually been dropped on all the different platforms: Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Music. There's a bunch here that you can go through. So if you do want to listen to those officially, or even through Spotify or a few of these other music platforms, they now have that there officially. And again, I've already thanked them 100 times, but I do want to really thank Embark for bringing me out to that private event and letting me check out the new season. And I'm glad I could bring you guys some new, fresh content with that there. And I do appreciate you guys for checking out my videos and making that possible. And I am also super curious on your guys' thoughts with the new season, especially pertaining to some of the new weapons like the FAMAS and the KS-23, as I haven't had too much testing. I got about 2 games with each of those during the private event. Overall though, if you enjoyed today's video, like and subscribe, and until the next one, deuces.